So like I said, it was kind of like the worst kept secret, or I don't know how you would describe it, but we all thought Dorsey was going to be the CEO, right? What do you think?
Well, I think that they had to demonstrate they were going through a process and seeing what the best possible outcome could be for the company. I do believe that they did look at other candidates, but at the end of the day, Dorsey has real history there, obviously.
Right.
And I think that he is perceived, and this is accurate, as knowing that product incredibly well.
Yes.
And that's what is key right now, is getting someone in there who really understands the product. Look, having Zuckerberg as the CEO of Facebook all of this time has meant Facebook has really iterated incredibly well and stayed very true to the core product while adding new features on a consistent basis. And I think that's what they're hoping will happen with Jack now in place.
Right. Well, I mean, this, again, raises a whole debate. Are founder-led companies, do they eventually do better, than others? So, you mentioned, for instance, Elon Musk, right? That's another one.
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs, right? And people say, is Jack Dorsey making a Steve Jobs-esque entrance now? He's come back to save the company. What do you think he has to do, though, with the core product? I mean, how does he make it more appealing to the user?
I think that for those of us who do use it, who are on Twitter, we adore it.
Right. But we're in media, Susan, right? I mean, we love it.
Yes, but I think that for someone who has never used it before, they don't make it easy to get started. And I think that's going to be key to getting more people onto the platform and getting them using Twitter first thing every day. And that's what you ultimately want, not just people to sign up, but people to be there on a consistent basis, making this one of their 1, 2, 3 apps.
Right. The first thing that they do when they wake up in the morning, like you said, people check Facebook or they go on Instagram, those types of apps. Now, on another note, as we've known, your work as of late has been promoting and investing in women entrepreneurs. So I don't know if you saw, but there was this great study from McKinsey and Lean In.
I did see it.
You did see it. That incredible, right? They said it would take a century before women would equal men at the very top.
Right. And look, I think that was it was a startling headline for the study. I think the study actually had a lot of good data in it. And when you look at something like that, I think the negative is you think, well, why even try?
Why bother?
Right? I mean, this is just
a
disaster. Yeah. Yeah. And in fact, I think that's just looking at if you straight line from here, this is how long it's going to take to get women to parity. But what they got into that I think was more interesting are the things that continue to be blocks, right?
Right, and I thought, so I'll read you some other numbers, the ones you've seen already, but 43% of the women who were surveyed said they were denied a promotion or a raise. They said stress is the #1 career obstacle for them. 15% of tech companies have C-suite executives who are women. Entry level is higher.
1.5,
yeah. 15%. Entry level is higher at 37%, but that's entry level, right? So where do they go when they get more when they advance? And only 12% of men said there is a bias against women in the tech world.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them affirm what you think already, but others are pretty startling, right?
Yeah. No, and I think that's exactly right. Look, the companies that are making real progress here are the companies that have made this a priority. It's not going to happen on its own. It's going to happen because somebody in that CEO chair or the board says, we got to fix this.
Right.
And we have to be a lot more thoughtful about the way that we recruit, but also the way that we promote people, the way we retain women.
Or metrics, right? Metrics for advancement for women.
Metrics for advancement, but it's also what kind of support systems can we put in place that are going to make this a more friendly work environment for women.
Like what, though? I mean, is it beyond extending maternity leave, let's say, or allowing your nanny to travel with you on a business trip? I mean, what is it exactly?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of things. I mean, one is making sure that women don't feel like they're alone. And what you see over and over again is that there's one female engineer on a team or in a group. That's not great. So one of the things Verizon is doing that I think is really interesting is getting together their female engineers on a regular basis. In fact, they're doing one next month. And making sure that they see themselves as a posse as well as individuals. But there are definitely companies that are doing more thoughtful programs in order to keep women engaged, keep them feeling like this is a culture that will support them, as well as making sure that there are more objective metrics applied for promotions and for the cool jobs.